Okay, so moving on, right at the early December, the OSIRIS-REx mission finally reached its target, which is the asteroid Bennu. And this is a short animation of what OSIRIS-REx is all about. It's designed to orbit this small asteroid. It's about 400 meters or so in diameter. And so, imagine 4 football fields. And that's where we are right now. It's in orbit, and it's going to spend the next year surveying the surface of the asteroid. And then they will choose 1 to 3 locations and drop down, very briefly touch down on the surface of the asteroid and collect a sample in sort of a glorified air cleaner here. Just as that touches the surface, there's a burst of nitrogen gas, blows material up into the air cleaner, and it gets lodged in it. It could be anywhere from a few tens of grams up to maybe a kilogram of material. And then there's a sample canister on board the spacecraft. They will load the sample collector into that, seal it up, and then in 2022, the spacecraft will return to Earth. The sample capsule will separate and re-enter the atmosphere and come down on parachutes in Australia. So that's, let's see, this is the launch back in May of 2016. And just an artist concept of, again, of that sample collection activity. And so, let's see, there we go. So this was just a couple weeks ago. The camera on board, there's the asteroid, close and fairly bright, and you'll notice this little blip down here. That is the Earth and the Moon from being in orbit around the asteroid. So that's a nice look back at home. And so here's the sort of the end game of approaching this asteroid as they fly in. It was just in the last couple of weeks that they started seeing the shape of it and resolving it to be more than just a single couple of pixels. And so again, the long dimension here is about 400 meters or so. And I think we've got a better view here once they were in orbit. So the surface is very rubbly. It's got a couple of very large boulders sitting on the surface. This is about 100 and, let's see, it's about 50 meters, 150 feet or so in the long dimension. So fairly large boulders, but the thing to note is just how rough that surface is. And so the thinking so far is this is what they call a rubble pile asteroid, where there were lots of small pieces that were drawn together just by the mutual gravity, and it formed this object. And the roughly diamond shape is likely caused by the fact that the asteroid is spinning quite rapidly. It's spinning once on its axis every 16 hours or so. So it sort of deforms the shape of the rubble pile, and that's what you get.